Let's get weird into it. Number 10. The Not-So-Cuddly Shrew. Most people think shrews are just anxiety in fur form. Jittery, squeaky, and constantly on the verge of a heart attack. But these twitchy gremlins come with a dark twist. Venom. Not the spit in your eye and you're blind kind, but the subtle, slow-acting, I'm just going to paralyze you so I can eat you later variety. Some shrew species, like the northern short-tailed shrew or the Asian house shrew, have venomous saliva that seeps into their bite and gradually incapacitates their prey. It's like they're mini mad scientists, injecting grubs and frogs with a chemical cocktail that doesn't kill immediately, but makes running away a distant dream. The venom slows down nerve signals and stops blood from clotting, which is a fancy way of saying it turns dinner into a slow-moving meat puppet. If you were a bug, this would be your worst horror movie. And for humans, you'd probably just get a swollen finger and a story no one would believe. What's even weirder is the reason behind it. Shrews don't want their prey dead right away. No, they like their snacks squirming but helpless, like a bad date who can't find their shoes. It's a bizarre halfway zone between living and expired, and somehow shrews thrive in that moral gray area. So yeah, next time you see a shrew, just know it's carrying the tiniest biochemical warhead nature ever designed. Number 9. The Venomous Platypus. If you looked at a platypus and assumed it was harmless, that's on you. This thing looks like a prank pulled off by evolution at 4 a.m. It's got a duckbill, lays eggs, has fur, and apparently it's venomous too. Specifically, the males come equipped with venomous spurs on their hind legs. Yes, you heard that right. Ankle knives filled with pain juice. This venom isn't about killing, it's about making you wish you were dead. People who've been on the receiving end describe it as pain so intense. Not even morphine touches it, and it can last for weeks. No joke. The swelling, the throbbing, the full-on existential regret. It's not just a sting, it's a full-blown body betrayal. And why? Because of sex. Of course, the venom ramps up during mating season, turning every male platypus into a hormonal rage goblin with a built-in taser. It's less defend myself from predators and more assert dominance over Chad from downstream. Evolution took a look at platypus mating problems and thought, what if we made it hurt? So the next time someone tells you the platypus is quirky and harmless, just know that weird beaver bird is packing heat, and it's fueled by testosterone and bad intentions. Number 8. The loris with the elbow lick of doom. You've probably seen slow lorises in cute animal videos. Those big, innocent eyes. The cautious little arms reaching for bananas. Adorable, right? Until you learn they're basically venomous teddy bears with a built-in bioweapon system in their elbows. Yeah. The loris produces a toxin from a gland near its upper arm, then licks or rubs it onto its teeth before biting. That's not affection. That's biological warfare with extra steps. The venom can cause swelling, extreme pain, even anaphylactic shock in humans. And yet people still try to keep them as pets. Imagine owning a live plush toy that might give you a near-death experience if it gets moody. It's not biting to kill you, though. It's for defending against predators and probably asserting dominance among other lorises. But if you're a human, congratulations, you just made the list of possible threats. Here's the kicker. They don't even have to bite you directly. Sometimes they coat their young in the toxin like a weird DIY baby armor. It's like covering your kid in mace before sending them to school. And if you're wondering what it smells like, people describe it as a mix between old metal and cat pee. So it's not just dangerous, it's disgusting. So, yeah, that innocent, slow-moving fluff ball is secretly a living syringe with a personality disorder. And if it licks its elbow, that's your cue to back away slowly. Unless you like your skin feeling like it's been set on fire by betrayal. Number 7. The Vampire Bat's Blood Cheat Code. Okay, vampire bats were already on your probably evil list. But did you know their bite is technically venomous? Not fangs dripping with death venom, but an evolved chemical that prevents blood from clotting while they sip on their midnight snack. It's less bite and die and more bite and bleed forever. When a vampire bat feeds, it cuts a tiny incision with surgical precision. Think scalpel, not horror movie. And then uses its saliva, which contains anticoagulants, to keep the blood flowing. Basically, it's an all-night slurp fest, and you don't even notice until you wake up anemic and confused. The saliva also has mild anesthetic properties. So yeah, your blood could be getting siphoned by a bat right now, and you just think it's a breeze hitting your leg. What makes it venomous is that this secretion modifies the blood of another animal in a way that's clearly beneficial to the predator and harmful to the prey. That meets the definition of venom. So even though it's not melting faces or paralyzing limbs, it's still a biochemical attack with purpose. Silent, sneaky, and just a bit insulting. And humans? We're not on the regular menu, but if a bat's desperate enough, we're just another warm-blooded Capri Sun. So, go ahead. Laugh at vampire lore. Nature's already got a Fang squad working night shift in Central and South America. Number 6. The Solenodon. Ancient, ugly, and armed. If you've never heard of the Solenodon, don't worry. Nature almost forgot about it too. It's a prehistoric holdover that looks like someone tried to 3D print a rat from memory, but ran out of filament halfway through. Long snout, beady eyes, awkward feet, and surprise, it's venomous. Because of course it is. Native to the Caribbean, the Solenodon is one of the few mammals that delivers venom through its teeth. Like a reptile cosplaying as a rodent. It's got grooves in its lower incisors that act like venom channels, and when it bites, that juice flows right into the victim's bloodstream. It doesn't kill big animals, but it can definitely mess up smaller prey, and possibly give you a very uncomfortable infection if you're unlucky enough to get chomped. But this isn't some flashy, aggressive predator. The Solenodon is shy, nocturnal, and weirdly wobbly. Like, it literally can't walk in a straight line. It zigzags everywhere like it's constantly trying to avoid being followed by paparazzi. So, imagine something that looks like it wandered out of a time machine from 20 million years ago, stumbling around with venomous teeth and zero social skills. That's the Solenodon, a messy cryptid with bite power. Scientists are still trying to figure out why this thing even has venom. Is it to stun insects? Fend off rivals? Spite evolution? Nobody's sure. But one thing's clear. If you find yourself alone in a Caribbean forest and something wobbly bites your ankle, don't assume it's harmless just because it looks like a rejected Pokemon. Number 5. The European mole's secret weapon. Moles are those blind, dirt-digging loners who ruin your garden and mind their business underground. But the European mole? That dude came ready. It's got venomous saliva, and it uses it to paralyze earthworms. Yes, earthworms, as part of its disturbingly organized food hoarding system. See? Instead of just eating prey right away like a normal carnivore, the European mole paralyzes them and stores them alive in underground chambers. That's right, mole pantries. A whole writhing buffet of paralyzed worms, just chilling in a dirt closet until mealtime. The venom targets the worm's nervous system, making them twitchy but immobile, like a remote-controlled gummy worm. Why go through all this trouble? Because storing fresh prey alive keeps it from rotting. And moles, apparently, are very serious about meal prep. It's like they're living out a post-apocalyptic doomsday bunker fantasy, but with more worms and less electricity. And don't worry, the venom's not dangerous to humans, unless you're a very sensitive earthworm in a trench coat. Still, it's kind of unsettling to realize that even the most mundane, squinty-eyed backyard digger might secretly be running a torture chamber under your lawn. Venom, hoarding, and strategy? That's not a mole. That's a villain origin story in progress. Number 4. The hooded Pitohui. Technically, a mammal's cheat code. Okay, I'm cheating a little with this one. It's a bird. But stick with me, because it's about how mammals could do this too. The hooded Pitohui is one of the few known poisonous birds, and it gets its toxins not by making them internally, but by eating poisonous beetles. The venom ends up in its feathers and skin, making it dangerous to touch or eat. Now, here's where mammals come in. Some researchers think certain mammals might also be borrowing their venom. Like the African crested rat, it doesn't make its own toxin, but it chews on the bark of a poisonous tree, then slathers the toxic spit all over its fur like some kind of death conditioner. It's not venom in the classic sense. There's no injection, but it's a very deliberate biochemical strategy to make predators regret all their life decisions. Imagine a rat with toxic hair gel. That's basically what we're dealing with. So, while not technically venomous by their own production, these mammals are chemical thieves. They borrow nature's worst recipes and use them for personal gain. It's like getting bad credit, but still buying a Ferrari. Toxic flex achieved. And honestly, that's kind of genius. Why evolve your own venom when you can just borrow it? Number 3. The Slowpoke killer. African crested rat. Let's go deeper into this guy, because the African crested rat is doing something straight out of a chemical warfare playbook. At first glance, it looks like a fluffy, oversized hamster with a bad attitude and 2000s emo bangs. But beneath that drama mane, toxic chaos. It doesn't produce its own venom, but it applies poison to its fur manually, which is arguably even more metal. The rat chews on the bark of the Aconcanthera tree, which produces a powerful toxin used in traditional arrow poisons. After chewing, it takes its now toxic saliva and grooms special sponge-like hairs on its flanks. Any predator that bites those areas basically gets a mouthful of death. And the wildest part? It knows. It knows where to put the poison, how to extract it, and how to weaponize its own hair like it's prepping for a medieval duel. This isn't random evolution. It's premeditated biohacking. Predators who try biting this rat don't usually try again. Some reportedly convulse or even die shortly after the encounter. It's a furry little nope button in nature's jungle. So, the next time someone tells you rats are harmless pests, just know, some of them are literally armed with externally sourced nerve agents. Number 2, the male slow loris. Again, but worse. Yes, we already talked about the loris, but this is a sequel nobody asked for, because the males take things to an even darker level. While all lorises have access to their elbow juice venom trick, males seem to be extra committed to the whole living biohazard lifestyle, especially during mating season. Researchers have noticed that male slow lorises use venom not just defensively, but offensively. They'll bite each other in territorial fights, and the results are not pretty. We're talking about necrotic wounds, swelling, tissue death, and in some cases, actual death. That's right. These baby-faced fluff gremlins are out here playing Game of Thrones with chemical warfare. And here's the psychological twist. Lorises will sometimes pre-toxify their grooming sessions, licking their venom glands and then smearing the poison into their fur. This turns cuddling into a literal danger zone. It's like hugging a cactus that's also lightly dipped in acid. Sweet dreams. Biologists still don't know exactly how many layers of nightmare fuel are packed into loris venom, but they've confirmed it contains a protein similar to cat allergens. So if you're allergic to cats, this thing might kill you twice. Cute? Yes. Pet material? Absolutely not. The slow loris is proof that big eyes can hide big problems, and also possibly a tiny war crime. Number 1. The manned rat, the ultimate DIY venom beast. And here we are. Number 1. The manned rat, a creature that looks like a cross between a possum and a hairbrush, and yet somehow manages to pull off the most punk rock venom strategy in the mammal kingdom. We touched on its cousin earlier, but this guy deserves the top spot for how deliberate and effective its technique is. It doesn't make venom in its own body. Instead, it sources one of the deadliest toxins in nature, ouabain, from the acocanthera tree, the same tree used by African hunters to kill elephants. The rat chews the bark, mixes it with its own spit, and then applies it to specialized grooved hairs that are designed to soak up and hold the toxin like tiny poison straws. Those hairs? They're not just for show. They're part of a full-on defense system. Predators who try to bite the manned rat get a mouthful of ouabain, which can stop the heart in high enough doses. And the rat doesn't even flinch. It shows off its black and white mane when threatened, basically saying, "Go ahead, make my day," while wearing a fur coat laced with cardiac poison. This isn't venom evolution. It's venom strategy. The manned rat is outsourcing death and still pulling off results that would make a cobra blush. It's lazy, brilliant, and absolutely terrifying. And the best part? It's so rare and elusive that scientists still don't know how many of them are out there. So if you ever see a bushy-tailed rat strutting like it owns the forest, maybe don't pet it. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.